Welcome back, family. Timo Hanna here. I'm your host, Rich. We're doing the cover price top 20 for today, which is February 3rd, 2025. And I accidentally just hit the volume control, which muted myself there a little bit. Not for you, but for me, because I couldn't hear myself. Yeah, it's this stupid little thing here. It's got like a roller on it. So if I just like bump it with my hand, all of a sudden it sounds like I'm okay. I start freaking out. All right. Anyway, we got 20 books to go through here for the cover price top 20. This is try to review this the same way that JP's Budget Collecting looks at the Comic Tom and the what's the other list? He's the original. He is the original and the best, absolutely. But I realized that nobody was covering the cover price top 20 list, so I just kind of took it upon myself to do this one. But I give full credit to JP's Budget Collecting, which he is going to be doing his live stream in about an hour or so. So 9 o'clock Eastern Standard. If you want to watch him, you can go from one list to the other, and that's your best way of checking out everything that's on the hot lists across the country. All right, so we got 25 prayers already checking in. How's it going there? And Robert Moreau just dropping in. Good evening, Rich and the Coconut family. Yes, we've got an unboxing video, a mail call video that will be airing tomorrow for the general public. YouTubers already have gotten the advanced screening of it, hopefully, and I seem to be getting a positive reaction from it, even though it's kind of a sad story. So that'll be airing tomorrow, and Wednesday will be the new comic book day, which also includes a giveaway. Just a little reminder here, please make sure that you click like and subscribe. Click on those notifications so you know when more videos are dropping. And don't forget to drop comments down below. We want to hear what you guys think about each one of these videos, the top 20. What do you think about these books? The new comic book day, what books did you get? And mail call, what books have you been buying outside of your LCS or outside of new comic book day? I think you guys are here for this list. Let's get into it. Coming in at number 20, right off the bat, boom, we've got Hulk issue number 1. This is the Ed McGuinness. It says first appearance of Red Hulk, which, again, I had this book. I don't have it anymore. Actually, I don't mind that I don't have it anymore. This, if I'm not mistaken, he appears on the cover, but he does not appear in the story. So even though it's the first appearance on the cover, story-wise, I think it's like issue 2 or 3 that he actually appears. Yeah, I had the Ed McGuinness, not the 150, but the Atomic Comics version. So anyway, this book is already starting its downward trend, which is not surprising because I think a lot of people are already kind of nervous about where this movie is going to be, the Captain America Brave New Day. And look at this, 9.8, fair market value, $267, last sale, $220 for a 9.8, $47. I mean, that's almost 25, it's almost 20% of the price is off on the fair market value of a 9.8. We got near mint pluses. Oh, that was back in January, so I'm not going to count that, but let's look at near mint regular, January 31st, $65, fair market value 74, so that's down. Look like some of the other ones are going up a little bit. Wow. Somebody actually paid $80 for a fine back in December. Ouch. Well, I mean, we've been advising here on the channel not to put the money into this book. I don't think that this character, even Red Hulk, is going to have a long-term presence in the MCU. I just don't see it. I think he'll be overall less of an appearance or less of a life than Abomination was. And the reason is, and I love Harrison Ford to death, I really do, but the dude is like 80 some odd years old. If you really wanted this character to have longevity, you would not be having an actor play him that probably doesn't have another 20 years of acting left in him. You know, I think that he took this role to cover William Hurt with the intention of completing the character arc and ending the character. It's just the way that I see this character going. I think by the end of this movie, he's either going to be imprisoned and forgotten, or he's going to, be terminated one way or the other. Anyway, that being said, I think this book is still on its way down. I think the 9.8s are going to be even lower than that. I wouldn't put any money towards this. If you want to get a copy of this in a 9.8, I highly suggest waiting at least another month and a half till this movie is uh, thoroughly in the movie theater, if not about to leave the movie theater. That's when this book will go down. It'll get a little more of a spike, bump, whatever, when it starts to re-hit on streaming, but not much. Coming number 19, we have Star Wars: A New Legacy, number 1, the 1 in 25, Lanil Francis Yu. This is from last week, which it's a cool looking cover, but what worries me is that we have so many different It's like every week or every month another Star Wars series starts, whether it's here on Marvel or in Dark Horse, and you never know which one to get. And this is a 1 in 25, and it's currently selling for 35. So just a little bit above ratio. It's not even 1.5 times ratio. Stores load up on Star Wars books because they're always a good seller. Um, I see that the cover A is up 7% to $6. Big whoop. If that book was taking off, then they would tell me that there's a lot of interest in it and maybe it wasn't ordered enough. But the fact that the cover A is not shooting up, to me, tells me that the 1 in 25 is also not going to shoot up. So I think it's going to settle back down to about 20 to 25 right around ratio. And that 35 is going to be a big loser. Next up, we have Monsters issue number 3, the cover H, the Fighter, 1 in 25. Honestly, this kind of reminds me of like, what do you call it? Like G.I. Joe comics, but I don't know if I like that perspective, that point of view, the back of the, just seeing the fist there, the back of the head. I think I would have preferred it just slightly turned so you can see a little bit more of the face of the aggressor. This is a 1 in 25, also at $35. Just like, actually, look at this near mint. Now, last sale, $26. So it's right around a ratio for a 1 in 25 Mark Spears Monsters. I'm sorry, there's too many good books here. I got a copy of that. I got a copy of that. I got 2 copies of that. I got 1 copy of that. I wanted to get the Jaws homage, but the metal one that the store received was damaged, so they're going to be sending that back. There is a limited to 50 on those. Hey, Kenneth, how's it going? Welcome to the show, buddy. I think that the stores have ordered enough copies that every single store probably got 3 or 4 of these Mark Spears Monsters 1 in 25s, which means there's going to be a glut. And I'm not crazy about the art, so I really don't think this is going to go anywhere. I think this is going to come right back down to $15 to $20, be below ratio price. Even though it's Mark Spears Monsters, it's not catching anybody by surprise like issue number 1 did. So I would definitely stay away from that if you can. Oh goodness, Robert, are you ready? Here we go. Pin Apocalypse. Did I do it? I think he had more fun watching me try to pronounce that word than anything else. Issue number 1, the Sveta Shubina 1 in 25. Look at that big red 4.78% down. Let's see now. The cover A I see is up 2%. No change, no change, no change, no change, and down. So this to me tells me that overall people are okay with the book, but not overly enthused with it. Highest known value was last week, $200 for this book. It does kind of remind me of like the Pop Cola, like I said last week, but this is now 2 weeks in, and it was at $200 2 weeks ago. Now we're at $135 for a near mint, 103. Sorry, the most recent sale, 103 for a near mint on the 2nd. So it's lost already half of its value from January 25th. And I believe this is going to continue this trend and drop back down again. I don't think it's going to get all the way down to ratio, but once it hits about 40, I would think that this is probably at its low point. Now, one thing to take into consideration if you find a raw copy on this is the amount of red that's on this cover is invariably, if stores got more than 1 copy, it's going to make a color bleed on the backside. So if you get a raw copy, make sure you get a chance to turn it over. If it's got a backing board, take it out, look at it. Make sure you don't have any of this red bleed on the back cover, because that really will detract from the grade if they send it in. Amazing Spider-Man number 194, first appearance of Black Cat. It's nice to see this book up on the list again. 1979. Now it's funny because they're calling for the newsstand. In 1979, I'm going to say about 90% of the books that were printed were newsstand. Matter of fact, this it goes to the point where they didn't even have the Spider-Man head in with a barcode for direct sale. It was just the line slashed through it, so that way it couldn't be read with a barcode reader. The reason they did that was because they found newsstands, you were allowed to return what you didn't sell. Direct sale comic books to comic book stores, they could not. And what happened was, a lot of times people were, like if I had my comic book store in 79, when I was 10, and I had a buddy who had a newsstand, any books that I didn't sell, I would bring to him, and he could refund, get a refund from it and get me my money back. So what they did was, first thing they did was they put like a slash line through it. So this way it was very obvious, and you couldn't scan it with a barcode scanner. And it showed a difference between direct sale and newsstand. And then very shortly thereafter, they replaced the barcode altogether with the logo of Spider-Man's head. All right, so giving you that little history lesson, let's look at some of these prices. We got 9.6s are actually up from $820 to $940. 9.8 is just it hasn't moved since last December. 9.4s actually gone down a little bit. Raws, near mints have actually jumped up quite a bit, $420 to $533. Looks like everybody wants to get their hands on one of these. Question is why? I don't remember seeing Felicia Hardy in the Spider-Man Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man animated series, which, side notes, I've seen the first 2 episodes. They both dropped last week. Better than I thought it was going to be. I like it. It's almost as good as Skeleton Crew. I can tell it's made for kids, but what its good redeeming feature is, it's not in the universe it's not in Earth 616. It's a completely separate universe where good guys, good characters can be bad characters can be good. I don't want to spoil anything, but it's not the world that you're used to, so it's actually kind of interesting. I don't know how long that novelty will last. What's scary is that I haven't seen the first season, and they've already renewed it for season 2 and 3. They got a lot of hope on this, but then again, it's an animated series, so let's see what happens. Now, this, in my opinion, is still a good book to always have. It's very condition sensitive because of that black cover. But most people can't just go and drop $1,700 on a 9.8. Where's that sweet spot that we want? They always try to look for. 8.0 is a little bit high, but look at that. 8.5 is at $248, even though 8.0 is at $294. You can see when you're looking for a book, let's just say you're on eBay and you see an 8.5 for sale. A lot of people will just quickly go and scan what is the last sale of an 8.5, and they see $248. They don't realize that a lower grade sells for high. So you might find that 8.5 right about that same price. It's odd, but that's what happens. People only look up the grade that's for sale. I would definitely want to get something above a 6. Because once you get, especially if you get lower than 6s, it's because, you're going to have a lot of spine ticks, and they show a lot on this book. They really do. If you want a raw, you're going to be paying for it for a fine. Look at $225 for a 5.0 to 6.5, but wow, $225, but you can go buy a 6.5 straight up for $157. So you can get a 7.0 for $180. So I would be looking for around that 7 range, at the 7.5. Maybe you could find that 8.5. If you've got the money to go for a higher grade, once you hit 9.4, it starts to take off. 9.2, it's still 410, 9.0, 375. But a good book to put in your collection is around a 6. If you can get a 6.5 at 157, you can't go wrong with that. And when this character does make it to the either the MCU or even the Spider Verse, um, I think this book is going to have a nice little resurgence. All right, next up we have the Natees Marvel Rivals Storm issue number 4. I'm not a fan of the Natees covers, so I can prove that because I don't even know if I'm pronouncing it right, and I haven't bothered to even look it up. But of the covers, I do like the Storm cover the best. So, it's probably because I just like Storm, but her proportions are really bad here. But the other two background photos I like. Now that being said, you can already see it's trending downwards, as I think all these Atees or Netties or whatever covers are going to. Near Mint Plus selling for 30, Near Mint regular selling for 23. Highest no value of a 9.8. A pre-order was for 110. That was on a 22nd see only sale. I think this was selling for like 28 to 35 last week. I think it's going to continue to go down. We've had books in the past that have had these collages of like 3 or 4 of the same character, and they're cute at first, but they really don't hold value. They're not a ratio variant. They're literally is if you ordered them and got them in time, and a lot of stores just didn't because they didn't care to order these Marvel Rivals. They didn't feel that there was going to be any demand for it, and as a result, it's lower print. So now everybody wants it because it's lower print. But eventually, that nobody wanted it in the first place is going to kick in, and it'll balance itself back out. And I think it's going to continue to fall. Omega Man number 3. Hey, can you believe this is already on its way down? Look at this. A 9.8 just sold for 274. Now, I don't know if that's a 9.8, what do you call it, CBCS or PGX. I couldn't tell you. I did see a 9.8 the other day going for like 330 with 20 some odd bids with a couple hours left. So I know that the 274 is way, way, way lower than what it normally goes for, but it does show you that there is a downward trend in this. We may have time to get this down a little bit lower before the Superman movie drops, which we know we're going to get Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, in the movie. If we have a post-credit scene which shows Lobo in it, which they've already started filming, so they might do that, this book is going to have another spike. So I think this could still continue to come downwards. I would be looking more like around May to get this book, because if there is a post-credit scene, it may leak out the information around June. So I would just want to hold off on. I wouldn't want to. I would want to catch this at its lowest interest level, which is probably going to be around May. So it's already dropping down a little bit. Just hang on a little bit longer. Next up, we have Absolute Batman, a book that just will not go away. Has better legs on it than the Ultimate Spider-Man. This is the first team appearance of the Party Animals. It's actually trending upward. Look at this. We've got 9.9s. Well, that's from December, but now 9.8 selling for 110. It's actually gone up a few bucks, which is interesting because usually at this point these books have gone down a couple of bucks. The Near Mint Raws at 40. We were at 32, then 35. Now we're at 40 for the Near Mint Raws. It's interesting. This book is not slowing down. It's holding, and I know a lot of people are really enjoying these stories. I keep saying I think it's going to come down, but it just keeps defying gravity. So, what do I think is going to happen? I still think it's going to come down. I mean, these stories are not canon in the long run, so they can't hold, in my opinion. I don't know. Then again, the Absolute Spider-Man is holding as an ongoing story. My son just asked to read my copies of Absolute Batman. Have you read the stories? Honestly, I haven't. I have my copy off at CGC right now. And is it a story that? Wait, your son is not like 10, so let's be specific to all the other people that are watching. You have an adult son, so would you recommend this for like a 10-year-old? Here's a good question. All right, next up, we've got Crossed, issue number 0 from Avatar Press, 2008. Option News continues to go up a little bit. Um, I'm sorry, I just don't think much of it. The only thing that's it's got going for it is Avatar Press in 2008. So, how many people actually bought it? How many people even knew it existed? We got 9.6 just sold for $400. A 9.8 sold in November for $192. What makes you think a 9.6 is worth $400? I mean, even if this is optioned and turned into a movie, the the odds of this taking off and holding value are so against it. Name me one show that came from a comic book or one movie that came from a comic book that in the long run has held value. Wait, I have to see the answer to this. Yes, I really like it. He's 21, not for a 10-year-old. Okay. I mean, it's not Batman. It's not Batman Damned, but I mean, even if you go to like Walking Dead and what do you call it? What are some of the other ones? The Last of Us and Sandman. When the series is over, even the best ones go down in value. They don't hold. And then, of course, you have other ones like Paper Girls and Old Guard and everything else that, they were good stories and it just didn't translate well. So a 9.6 for $400? Heck no, that shouldn't be anything more than say 75. So I feel bad for the person that put the money into that. And I really advise against this one. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. And if you listen to me, and let me ask Greg, I've given bad advice as far as some books in the past. But if I'm wrong and you don't spend the $400 and the book shoots to the moon, okay, you still have the $400. There's 10 million other comic books that you can buy for $400 that'll make you happy. So I would just go with a surer bet with $400. Okay. At the end of the first half, we have Superman number 712. I guess somebody was digging their back issues and found another crypto cover. It's already on its way down. It's $20 for, wait, what do we got now? $31 for a near mint. Somebody paid $50 for a Raw on December 22nd. These are not first appearances. This is just a regular Superman from 2011, which we already know was overprinted. It's because it has crypto on the cover. Okay, I got to ask this question. Why is everybody so enamored with getting crypto covers? Is he doing a signing? Is it going to be a paw print for $45 at shows? This has got nowhere to go but down. Oh my goodness. All right. Now, what's funny is there actually is an Art Germ 1 in 10. Okay. Let's get this one up here for a second. Not Art Germ's best work, but it has crypto on the cover. It's a ratio 1 in 10. And it's actually going for less money than the cover A. Wow. You know what? You put crypto in the trailer, it gives every LCS the opportunity to go scrambling through there. Superman's Action Comics, Brave and the Bold. I mean, anything that can. And it's like, oh, crypto. And I can sell it for 10 times the amount. They were $1 last week. They'll be $1 in a few months, but right now they're $20. So no. All right, let's take a quick breather break so we can say thank you to all the members that help support the channel, whether you are a YouTube member by clicking down below, or you are a Patreon member by following the link that's in the description and joining Patreon. YouTube members get access to non-live videos a few days early, and Patreon members, we have our monthly get together where we give away a couple of books for each person. We just basically have a lot of fun with the channel, and I would like to take this opportunity to say thank you to each one of them. Just stick around because in 20 seconds we're going to be back with the top 10, so don't go anywhere. Hey, 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 we're back now for the top 10 of the cover price. One other little notice that I'd like to give here is don't forget that we are still trying to help Dagger Cards get to his goal for the Riding to Fight Kids Cancer. You'll find the link to that is also here in the description where you can go and just quickly make a donation, even if it's $5 or $500, anything counts. And but as you're doing that, do not forget to always keep in mind, um, boom, Rob's Fast Stacks of Comics and supporting comics curing cancer. They had a nice little event last Friday. So it's not just October. This thing goes year round. It's the best way that we could try to raise money. But both of these are for an amazing cause, just trying to help fight cancer. All right, so let's get back to it, shall we? I'm going to get the right page back up here. I think if I just minimize that, there we go. Coming in at number 10, we're into the top 10. Boom, it's a Mark Spears Monsters book. Who would have thought, right? We have issue number 1. This is the third print, the 1 in 20 homage for Nightmare on Elm Street. Now, okay, I said this before, and I still feel exactly the same way. I'm not overly crazy about this cover. It might be, you know what I think it is? It's the hand. This one, two, three, four, 5 fingers. You're but that's not how a hand should be. It should be 4 fingers and a thumb. It shouldn't be all 5 coming in one spot. It doesn't look right. Call me crazy, but I just see one, two, three, four, 5 all coming out of the same direction. It doesn't look right, but it's a 1 in 20 of a third print. Now, everybody at this point is crazy for Mark Spears monsters. Everybody was buying them. The stores are loading up on them to meet the demand. 1 in 20s are going to be all over the place, and it's not a great cover. And to me, it just screams stray dogs. So, and the funny thing is, it's actually up, and I can't see it continuing. I'm sorry, I just can't. Highest raw was $100 back in November. Now we got most recent sales 75 for a near mint and 68 for a near mint plus. Most recent was, of course, the near mint at 75 on the 2nd, which was yesterday. This is not, I don't think this is an ongoing series. I think this is only going for 6 issues. So unless they do something to elongate this series and get it, I'm afraid once issue 6 ends, the entire thing is going to drop down some. So unless it gets optioned, but I don't see that happening. So honestly, I still am of the opinion that it's a good idea to stay away from this comic. Coming in number 9, we have another one on the tease. We have all new Venom. We have 3 in the tease books on the list. This is the second one. This is the first appearance of Jillian Carson, aka Ripcord, Chuck, Stuff, Heave, Ho, and the Tosser. So somebody who's Chuck Stuff throwing, Heave Ho throwing, and the Tosser throwing. I guess they throw stuff. So I'm sorry, I don't find that very original. We've got, let's see, it's trending up 7%. We've got $19 for the near mint yesterday, $22 for near mint plus on the 29th, and a pre-sale of 120 for a 9.8. And that was the last sale back on January 11th. So 3.5 weeks ago. That's the highest price. There have been no pre-sales of 9.8 since then. I do remember this book, and the cover A is actually trending downwards. So if the cover A is trending downwards, that means the story is not really, making people go run out and buy it. So I'd say double whammy: the covers and the story telling me this is going to drop down. Now currently, it's like I said, it's $19 for a near mint. It's not a ratio variant, it's a regular copy. I see this more like 8 to 10 in 6 months from now. Hey, Rob, welcome to the show, sir. Hey, I just want to say something real quick. I just recently, and this is for Rob, I recently got a haircut, and oh, wow, that is a first. So I don't even know how this works. Okay, so anybody who is not, I guess, a member, you can click on this and get one of the memberships. Rob, thank you so much. That is fantastic. I appreciate that very much. I don't have any of your cool little cutaways. You know, I mean, I could like get up and do some kind of a naughty scene while you could play the music. Let's not do that. Um, Anyway, I did a video. I think you're a YouTube member, so you probably might have seen it already. Where I this weekend I got a haircut, and I'm recording, and I'm looking at the glare off my head, and I'm like, "Oh my god, I look like I'm bald." So I quickly had to show that I still have hair. It's just that I have a receding hairline, and it's just with the current climate of political. I didn't want to all of a sudden show up as bald. It has nothing to do with people that have already been bald and been pulling it off and doing very well at it for a very long period of time. Because everybody knows who has not had hair for a long time and who's cool. It's just I think right now, if all of a sudden somebody right now shaved their head bald, it might look a little odd. Ryan Riley, Steven Spock, Canadian Survivalist, AJ DIY Network, and with all faults, claim the membership. Wow, I didn't even know they were all here. Fantastic. Thank you very much. Hey, Sticker Bunch, what's up, man? That is honestly, that's the first. I know it's not a super chat, or it kind of is. We haven't had a super chat or of any type on this channel for quite a while. So, um, yeah, but like I said, you have, everybody knows you for a long time. It's like Bruce Willis. We all know him with no hair, and we're just it's he looks good. He's pulling it off. If somebody was like Fabio, not Fabio. If somebody had hair and all of a sudden they just shaved it, like, did he get chemo? What happened? So, or is he like all of a sudden really following Elon Musk? We don't know. All right, let's get back to the countdown here. I don't even know what issue I'm on here. Gotta take a little shortcut. We are on issue number 9. All right. Again, I'm not I'm not a fan with the tease covers. The cover A itself is dropping in price, so the story's not interesting to most people. And I honestly, just by the names of the characters, I think they're stupid. So I don't think that their characters are going to last for a long time. If they were, they give them cooler names. So yeah, another book to stay away from. Whoopee. Okay, somebody please explain this one to me. Somebody please explain this one to me. From Hell. This is from Mad Love Publishing. Came out in March 1st, 1991. And please don't anybody tell me it's because there is a movie, because the movie came out in 2002 with Heather Graham and Johnny Depp. So it's already, the movie's over 20 years old. So it doesn't even qualify as, oh, we got option news. No, I don't think they're remaking it. Its current trend is down. But the highest price was in 2022, $450. Got a 9.2 sale for 103. And Near Mint Raws, a bunch of them selling 30, 20, 15, 19 for no grade. It's 84 total recorded sales. What the heck is going on with this book? And the bigger question is why? I mean, it does look almost like a painting, which is kind of interesting. You could frame that and put it on the wall. But other than that, again, unless they're doing a remake, which I'm not aware of, or there's going to be a revival of the story, I don't see any reason that people would be chasing this book. I did as much research as I could, and I just couldn't find it. So let's just say, even if you buy this book, and even if it does go up a little bit in value, you still have to find somebody that wants this book to sell it. It's going to be a very limited market. Okay, next up, another Mark Spears Monsters book. This is issue number 2, cover A. It's trending slightly upwards. We got should have a good decent amount of sales. 265 sales. Look at that. 9.8 back in December 14th was at $100, and that is the last recorded sale for a 9.8. Very hard to believe that we haven't gotten more books through CGC and seen them on the open market. The Near Mint Plus 20, Near Mint Regular for 30 on the second. The second book came out in November. The first book was in September. So I don't think that stores had enough time to get a lot of copies on order. So issue number two probably has a little bit more than issue number one, but nowhere near enough to get the entire demand going on this. There were a bunch of covers on this. The cover A is nice, and there's multiple printings and as well. But this may actually go up a little bit. I don't know where a 9.8 would be on this. I'd have to see the census. But if we're at $30 for a near mint, this is probably closer to like 130 to 140 right now. Keep your eyes open. You may still find nice copies for under fair market value. Everybody's still focusing on those special covers like the trick or treat version, the trick or treat with the mole, issue number one, the homages. That cover A might sneak by and not be marked up. So check your LCSs. You might get lucky, find a really nice copy for say 15 to 20. Even 30, it may still have room to go up a little bit. But all of it's going to come down again if the series does not continue. And if it turns into a limited series, then I think that's what's going to happen. DC All In Special, number one, the book that just will not go away. I don't want it to, don't get me wrong. We had the first appearance of the Absolute Universe Batman, Wonder Woman, and Superman. It's down down less than 1%. We have 9.8s now coming in at 102, which is not terrible. It's funny. I see this near mint. Somebody just sold one for $5. I find that kind of hard to believe, but maybe an auction snuck through at 3 in the morning. I don't know. Or somebody it just put it up incorrectly. I don't know. You're not going to find this on a regular basis for 5. You would be decent to find it for 10. I would still stay away from the fair market value of 14 if you can. Use this as your ammunition to get a lower price on a near mint raw. If you can get it for $10 and then get a couple of them and send them in for grading in a pre-screen, you can save yourself some money instead of paying 100 to 110 for a 9.8. Next up, we have the Magic number one. This is the first appearance of Demon Crow. This is another one of the Netties or Nescafe, whatever. Cover. I should call it that. The Nescafe covers. The Marvel Rivals covers. This one was one of the first ones. It was January the 8th. Still, the most recent sale of a 9.8 was on January 30th for 120. Near mint selling for 24. That's the most recent sale. Near mint itself at 24. So it looks like the near mint is slightly up over the near mint plus, but again, maybe the Demon Crow might have a better, just based on the fact that they put more thought into the name than let's name 3 guys after chucking a baseball. But I don't think any of these Marvel Rivals covers are going to stand the test of time. All right, next up, we have the Dark Spaces Dungeon. This is from IDW. This is the retailer incentive 1 in 50 version. This is interesting. Okay. We've got Near Mint selling for 19 on the 30th, Near Mint Plus selling for 25 on the 2nd. And I see actually the cover A is gone up 47%. That's a good sign to me. That tells me that people are interested in the story itself and they're buying it. IEW probably okay. Most stores did not go out buying 50 copies of the book. So finding this virgin variant, the 1 in 50, may be a little tougher. I don't think every store will have gotten it. And if the story is good, which I think it is because people are buying cover A now to read, this book may have a good be a good chance to get it. It's only half ratio. So even your average ratio, your average ratio book, if it's somewhat decent, settles at ratio, which would be $50. This is half that. I think this has room to go up. So keep your eyes open, even on the internet, on Bakari and Etsy and eBay and whatnot and IG, any place where you buy your books, and see if you can find a really nice copy for 25. That might be a decent one. Okay. Next up, we have the Seasons This is the retailer thank you, one per store, black and white version of issue number one, which is just like the cover A, which is also up a whopping 2%. um, no, a one per store usually factors out to be about 1 in 25 when you do the math. Again, I don't know. I got to give full credit on that to JP's Budget Collecting for giving me that info as well. Hit that thumbs up. Oh, thank you so much, sir. um, we got $21 is the last recorded sale for a near mint. It's the only sales. We do have $80 for a raw back on January 29th. Then a few days later for 21. Ouch. That's a big drop off. I bet you that person's very angry he spent $80 on that book. Question is, where is it in totality? Probably 35 to 40, and then it'll settle down to 20. Overall, this is one to avoid. Okay, for second week in a row, we have the Scarlet Witch, issue number 7, the Peach Momoko with Jeff on the cover, and I still have a problem with this because we have his hands and feet, not fins. But it's up 14%. It's a good cover. Okay, Peach Momoko does the best when the entire frame, the entire cover has artwork on it. When she has something with a solid color background, it looks very drab. When she does stuff like this, it's good. And with her schedule and the amount of stuff she's got to do, I don't want to be rude and say she's got to do it the way I like it. Okay. Anyway, $60 for 9.8 pre-sale on January 22nd. Near mints, the most recent sale, look at this, near mints at $20. Now, this is not a ratio variant. This is just a regular issue number 7, came out in December. Two things. One, people pre-ordering love to buy Peach Momoko books. Two, they love to buy Jeff books. So I think that a lot of people bought this book. And I think when it came out, a lot of people realized they missed it. So right now, you've got more people that want it than the people that actually are really willing to sell it. I think that once it starts to cap out, a lot of people that bought it are going to sell it, and then it's going to drop quickly. I'm announcing this on in addition to tearing Fortnite comics to pieces, upon receipt, I will be tearing up covers with Jeff the Shark on them. You know, I might send you a couple of Jeff the Shark comics just so I can watch you rip them up on the air. That would be worth it, man. Yes. we understood that, sir. You are not a fan. I didn't even know there were Fortnite comics. Okay, so that just shows you how much interest I have in that. And I don't. I understand the buzz on the Jeff the Shark or it's Jeff or whatever because of the video game, but no, they're both video games. Fortnite, and I've played neither one, so there you go. I think that the Peach Momoko is going to hold for a little bit, and once it starts to like crescendo, if it say hits 22, 23, and then starts coming back down to 20, a lot of the people that bought this are going to try to dump the book, and at that point, it's just going to drop like a stone. So, again, this is another one, in my opinion, to avoid. Coming in at number 1, we have Spawn. Mark Spears, issue number 356 from September. And nobody really cared about this book until Mark Spears Monsters blew up. And then everybody wanted everything Mark Spears, which means when Mark Spears Monsters go away, everybody's going to stop wanting Mark Spears. And case in point, how many Jeff Stevens books do you see on this list? Because that hype is over. We're on to the next artist. Remember when, yes, we have a Peach Momoko book. But remember where Peach Momoko is everything on this list. The hype for this artist will die down. I may get this cover in the long run, but I'm certainly not buying it right now. Okay, so that's why I already see it trending downwards. It's not a first appearance. It's just is that the cover A? Just as regular. That was the cover A. So yeah, if you were reading Spawn, you cared about Spawn, you bought it. If you didn't care about Spawn, you didn't buy it. Now the only people that are trying to get it because it's Mark Spears, that hype will die, and $28 for 25. Oh wow, look at this. $28 on January 26th for a Nearmint. Now a Nearmint Plus going for 25. So grade up and down price. 9.8s back on the 17th selling for 60. No sales since then. No grades selling for 25. So people just saying, yeah, it's beautiful. This is going to come down. Absolutely going to come down. All right. So now I got to do my boom and my bust. And I'll be honest, I picked them in advance so that way I'm not wasting your time. I'm going to pick my bust first, the one on this list that I think is going to drop, is the worst investment at current prices, where it's selling now and where I think it'll be in 6 months and a year. Which one will lose you your biggest amount of money, whether it's in percentage or actual dollars? You decide which one is more important to you. But for me, it's anything with crypto on it. I'm sorry. And you know me, I'm a dog person. I love my dog covers, but I'm not going out and buying a common 2011 overprinted Superman book for $30 because crypto's on the cover, where 2 months ago it was in a dollar bin and not selling. Is everyone looking forward to the Fantastic Four trailer? Yes. As a matter of fact, I may be going to work early tomorrow so I can get out of work early and come home and watch it. And I know it's going to be on in the morning, but I'm not going to watch it on my phone. I want to see that on beautiful 75-inch screen. So that is my bust pick. My boom pick is the one that I think has the best chance to either go up in value or at least lose the least. So if all 20 books drop, I think this one has the best chance to not make you cry. This one actually I think could go up. I think the Dark Space Dungeon, the $25 1 in 50 variant of a book that the cover A is actually going up by a good amount, 47%. That's a good increase on a book from 2023. So if you can find that again for $20 to $25, you may get lucky. It's a 1 in 50 variant. It's not going to go down much lower than that. And if for any reason this does get optioned, you're really going to be in the pink there. I want to sell my cross number 1 for 400. I haven't never seen a cross number 1. So yeah. Yeah. It's always been a high price, and it's just such a hard book to find. I think that in 6 months, that'll still hold a decent amount of value. I really think that all the crypto dog covers are just, they're going to lose 95% of their value right after the movie. So that's the only reason I didn't pick the crossed. Plus, the majority of people that watch the show are not dropping $400 on an unknown book. All right, so those are my picks, my boom, my bust, and my predictions on the top 20. Again, if you don't like any of the prices or anything that's on here, don't blame CovrPrice. They're only reporting the data of what we do as consumers. If there are people out there spending $30 on a common book with crypto on the front, it's not CovrPrice's fault. They're just reporting it. This is all just, computer data. This is not gut feeling from CovrPrice saying, you know what, I think this is a great book. That's where you really have to watch out when you're watching like Comic Tom. I'm sorry, I can't watch him anymore. I think he's gotten better, but so many times I'm watching him like, he's really hyping this book. How many copies of this is he trying to sell? It just, to me, it seemed like a conflict of interest. Me, I'm not selling anything. So except the channel. And you know how you can buy into the channel? Make sure that you like, subscribe, click on notifications. And if you really want to, become a member for YouTube or a member on Patreon. How's that for a segue? All right. So I'm going to wrap this up. I want to say thank you to everybody, and a big fat thank you to Rob's Fat Stacks of Comics. Oh, man. And I can't wait to finish up with this because I want to go watch his new video. I know you guys don't get a chance to see it because you're not members, or are you members? Have you joined over there? Are you part of the Goon Squad or one of the henchmen? You get the early access, and otherwise you got to wait till tomorrow. But if you want to watch it tonight, you can join, be a goon or a henchman. Get your name up on the board. Monday drop for all. Okay, so this one dropped for all, but generally, um, and at the same time, you know that that money is not going into Rob's pocket; it's going to comics curing cancer. All right, all right. I've done my my sales pitch here. Let's wrap this up, shall we? The banners off. We get that one ready. I will say thank you so much for joining. Tomorrow, again, we got the mail call dropping for the public to see. Wednesday, new comic book day. We're giving away books and showing the books that we'll be giving away next week. Plus, finding out what books I got. And if you want to talk about what you got and put it in the chat, we would love to hear it. That's about it for the upcoming horizon. The Thursday con haul, I'm hoping, will be up early for members on Wednesday. Is this a hold you already got and you need to make the video, or this is like, no, yeah, that would be the con that you just went to this weekend, right? Oh yeah, I can't wait to see this one. All right, and don't forget Wednesday if you're interested. That friendly neighborhood Spider-Man so far is worth the watch. A new haul from Sunday. Ugh. Are you, are you gonna break our hearts again? Because usually he gets some really good stuff, not just for himself, but to put into the greatest giveaway box on the planet. You want to be a part of it and get a chance to be pulled. Ross Fast Exit Comics only slabs Saturdays, 2:30 Eastern Standard Time, 11:30 Pacific. Come on, you get he does two pulls. Okay, of multiple books. It's not like just one book. You get like 7 books, unless you get a book that says like +4, +2, and there's even more books. And he ships worldwide. He's not cheap acid like I am. Guys, thanks for joining. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, mahalo.